Periscope. Hi, everybody. Let me adjust this. Come on into the room. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining me. My name is Kiana Shaw, CEO of Leadership Academy, and I am your go-to person for all things teenagers. So what that means is I teach your teenagers all the things that they think they know for the purpose of them becoming productive citizens and leaving your home. And I also coach parents on the different techniques to communicating with their teen for the purpose of bringing love, joy, and harmony back to their homes. All right. And I want to talk today about questions to ask your kids. It doesn't have to be your teenagers. It could be any child that you have that may be in daycare or just outside of your home or inside your home. And so I think sometimes as parents, we have great intentions and we want to ask great questions. We want to ask our kids, how was their day? But I want to give you a little food for thought. One of the things that I do with my daughter when I pick her up from daycare, and I want to be elected since 2001, and my daughter was just born in 2013. But when I met this lady, I just knew that I wanted my daughter to be at her daycare, right? And that was years ago. And I said, if I ever have kids, she's going there. And so I just want to be clear that this isn't about hey Dina, this isn't about dogging any daycares or anything like that. But one of the things that we want to be sure, when I pick up my daughter, I always ask her, how was your day? And she'll say, fine. And I ask her these two questions that I think are very important. I ask her, one, did anything happen that made you really happy? And two, did anything happen that made you sad? And I ask those questions, one, not in front of the daycare provider. I don't ask her that in front of any adults, no matter where she's coming from, whether it's her dad's house, whether it's with my mom, whether she's with her godmother. And here's why. Because one, it's a question for me and her. Those are questions for me and her. And also because I want to get into the habit of her being honest with me and feeling free to answer questions that I ask her without the threat or fear of someone else. And I read an article years ago, or not years ago, 1 year ago, because I saw it again in my Facebook timeline. And I started asking when I read this article, because the lady talked about her abuser being behind the door. And it wasn't and for her it was a teenager, but as I've dealt with women who have dealt with abuse, whether physical or sexual, one of the things that they always said was that the person was in close proximity. So if the person is, let's just say, the daycare providers, another kid at the daycare, and they're standing behind me and the daycare provider with their fist balled up like you better not say anything, then my child is probably going to be less likely to share what it is that she didn't like about her day. And so I make it a private conversation. And sometimes, if I'm with her dad, if we're, meeting up or something, then I'll ask her in front of him. But I always ask again when it's just Kayla and I. And the reason for it is because I want her to be honest. I want her to happen again. And if it was a good experience, then we can share it. We can call the person and say, thank you for such a great experience, right? And that's teaching her to connect and nurture relationships. See how that goes? And that goes into a life skill that every one of us needs. When we meet people in business, we should connect with them and just say, hey, thanks for the conversation. Thank you for, whatever, right? And so it's just a great way to connect with your kids, but making sure that for the purpose of understanding what is really going on behind the day. And I say this, I know a lot of people go, well, it's everyone's, no abuse in my family. We don't have that. But here's the reality. If you don't know of the abuse, then to you, there's no abuse. But if you do know of it and no one's talking about it, then it becomes this secret thing, and this shame and all this stuff comes up. All this stuff happens. And so we want to be sure that our kids feel free to tell us. We want to be sure that they feel free to connect with us on any level. We want to be sure that they are certain that mommy will address the situation. And as she gets older, we'll talk about, they're like, when my cousins were younger, I would do a no secrets club. And so our commitment to each other was there are no secrets between us. So that meant that I had to be willing for them to tell me anything and not go telling their parents, right? Because they had to have a safe place. And I believe that because I gave them a safe place, that they did come and talk to me. And I have a best friend who is that safe place for Kayla, right? And nothing she says to Auntie Nita will get her a whooping. Nothing that she says to my best friend will get her in trouble, no matter how bad it is. And that's the key. Our kids need to know that there is someone that they can trust that has great decision-making powers that will, hey, Kia, I saw you pop up. Our kids need to trust that there's someone in their life that has great decision-making powers, that has great reasoning, that will give them the advice, right, that I trust to give them the advice that I would give. And it's a great way to make sure that they have that person who, because let's just be honest, our friends are idiots in most cases at this age. And so always having a safe place for our kids to be, to make sure that they can share with someone, that they can be in a great space with that person, the no judgment zone, all of those things that we need as adults, they need as kids. And that's just the reality. But we don't think about it like that because, they're kids. So, 2 questions. Did anything happen that made you really happy? And did anything happen that made you sad? And we addressed both of them in a positive way, in a loving way. And if she, let's just say, like, because my daughter will say, Daddy made me happy, Daddy made me sad, right? And so I'll ask questions. Well, what did he do to make you happy? Oh, okay. Well, what did he do to make you sad? Well, he told me stop. Okay, well, that's not an issue to address with her dad, right? Because he's supposed to tell her stop. But let's just say she were to say, you know what, Cousin Joey hit me. Well, why? Cousin Joey was mean to me. Well, what did he say? Tell me about that. Well, why did you think he was mean? Did that hurt your feelings? Right? And just making sure that our kids know at an early age that they can come to us, that we can make sure that they have a safe place outside of us. There should be someone other than you and I as parents. There should be an auntie, a cousin, someone that they can feel safe with, that they can share with. And I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted because people are like running to my car and I'm like, wait, no, I'm periscoping. So we want to make sure that they have a safe place. Okay, that someone that they can share with, and you want to ask them the questions every day. Did anything happen that made you feel happy? Did anything happen that made you feel sad? And we want to be sure not to ask in front of other people, so that they can be honest with us, and so that they can feel safe and secure. All right. Hope this helps somebody. Talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.